Hello everyone, in this video we'll learn how to integrate your MCP server with your agent. So if you have seen the previous video in which we have seen how to build a new agent from scratch without writing any code, all we did was we created an account with Google Colab and we took help of Gemini. So as I said previously as well, all you need to do is just know English or just how to interpret your thoughts, that's all. So similarly here I have a telecom use case. So if you can see, it's beautifully crafted. Everything is well drafted, everything is in place. So I have package installation detail, API key configuration, open API key. If you're wondering how do you get the open API key, you need to log in into open API account, go into your profile section, or just Google or ask Gemini how do you get the open API key, and you should be getting it. Once it is done, importing some dependencies, we have created a few data structure of some functions that we have defined pertaining to the telecom use case. And going ahead, we have created a few agents, email validation, bottleneck, activation agent, all of them. And further ahead, we have defined the setup, the steps, how it will be orchestrating, how everything is going to work. And in the next step, we have three test cases that we have added with different sample data to check how the agent work. Okay, once your use case is complete, I also wanted to send a report. So here's where the MCP server part comes into picture. So I want to send an email report by MCP tool, which is Zapier. Okay, I've used Zapier for this purpose because it was super simple to set it up, and we'll learn how. So let's go ahead and learn from Zapier how we have done it. So here we are in Zapier. You can create 30 days free trial account, and if you can see, I'm using the trial account as well. So yeah, this was done for my assignment, and let me go ahead and show you how so we're basically creating a new Zap. That's what they call when you're building a new flow or new interface. So here for the trigger section, you have a lot of options to choose from, like what trigger do you exactly want. So I'm choosing webhooks here. Okay, and then for a trigger event, you can choose catch hook. So whenever there is a request, it could be from your agent, it could be from your the one that will be triggering out. So it's going to catch the request. Okay, continue, configure. That's fine, and then test. So you will get this key. Okay, the Zapier, the hook key. Just go back and you need to provide this key in your MCP integration. So here is a Zapier hook that I have provided. Okay, and the next step would be action. So here I have configured Gmail, and let me go a step back. Really delete. Yep. So you can see there are a lot of options that I can choose from. Okay, and again for the configuration part, you can take help from Gemini. And let me just go ahead, choose my action. So I need to send an email, a new email address. I'll select the account. Okay, the account that I want, and then I will configure the input, output, and everything, the data mapping. You can either have a static data or you can have the data that is coming dynamically from your agent or from your previous application. So your Zapier is listening and it will be getting the dynamic data. I have already, as I said, I have already created one Zap, that is Oxford assignment MCP. Let me just go ahead and show you guys how it looks like. So yeah, I have a data that is coming like customer email, that is static, but the other information like subject, body, and everything is actually will be coming at the runtime, and that information is coming from my application, my agent. Okay, we have also sent out this thing. So it was that simple, and all you have to do is once you're done configuring just a webhook and send email, you can publish it out. That's all. We have already configured your webhook URL in your MCP configuration. And once it is done, let's go ahead and restart all sessions and run this out. Okay, so let me go on the first tab. It's checking out everything. it's executing the first one. Okay, for the second one, it has asked me for the API key, and yes, it has accepted the API key as well, and then most of them are executed. So this was one way of providing API key. In the previous one, we have seen that we added an API key in the vault, but here I'm providing it at the runtime. So it's up to you. And if you can see in the credentials as well, I've added a lot of credentials. It's not just one, so you can store a lot of credentials and then import them. Okay, this is the syntax for importing. You do not have to memorize syntax because again you have Gemini to help you out. And I guess most of the here I ran into an error. That could be because I was editing out the Zap. Let me go back and try it out again. Let me see what is the error. Okay, the error is here. Okay, this could be due to incorrect. So now that we have got an error as well, we can actually ask explain error. Okay, now so Gemini will help us with the error. So my API key is incorrect. Let me fetch the right API key and provide the API key again. Okay, and if there would have been any code changes, Gemini would have suggested me the code changes as well. So let me go back and restart the session. Yes, clear outputs, restart and run all. I should have done that first. I'm sorry. So let's go back again. It's running again. And yep, it's taking time, but we'll be there. Almost there. It has prompted me to enter an API key. Let me just enter the API key. And yeah, it has been executed. So let's wait for the examples. So that's why you need test cases. I mean, it's not compulsory, but if you are building a proper use case with a full code, you need them. So yeah, my first test case was successful. Let's see for the second one. Meanwhile, let me close the Gemini tab. Yeah, and the third one. This probably takes long because it has to also share, the MCP server takes long because it also has to send an email to the customer, the onboarding email. And if there are any errors, then that as well. So yeah, the last bit. And again, I cannot go and explain the code because I haven't written it. But I mean, the parameters over here, for example, I have just replaced my email address because I wanted it for testing. Otherwise, it could have taken the email address as well as static one. So I was aware about the fields and the syntax that is present here. I was just reviewing the code, but I haven't written the code. And I'm sure this is not a surprise for anyone who's familiar with AI. So yeah, it says that everything has been executed successfully. Let me just go ahead and refresh my email. And yes, I have got this new email. It's 1234. Yeah. And that's pretty much all. So it was simpler. It was actually easy to configure an MCP server. So you could configure multiple MCP server, and I really found Zapier helpful and pretty simple to configure. Maybe you can just give it a try. I'll also share the entire notebook file, okay, on my GitHub. If you want to just import it, you can go ahead in your file section and upload the notebook. Once you have downloaded the copy, I'll share the link in my description for you to get started. And that will be kind of a get starting point for you to go ahead and build new agents, configure your MCP server, and do magic. Thank you so much for watching.